to empower movies and movies itself. And of course, my legendary co host, Mr. Bob Lemon.
Hi, Daniel. How are you doing tonight?
Well, fabulous, fabulous as usual. Busy, busy always, but
I
busy means
know.
productive, right?
Oh, is that what it means? I thought it was something else.
What is something else? Tell me,
I
Mr.
don't
Bob.
know. Busy.
Busy,
Busy
busy,
has so
busy.
many meanings. I don't want to
Okay.
go into all of them, but productive,
Busy,
I suppose,
busy.
could be one. Sure.
Yes, I won again. I'm number one on Padmas for the eighth times
Oh
around.
my gosh! And
Thank you so
you get an award.
much.
Get an award
Thank
for
you
that.
so much. And my abstract essay to the second top.
Okay.
Uh, Doing both those podcasts is something else.
Is he going to give you $1 million check? Because they
For
showed off
sure, million
$1 million, gave
dollar
away a
check.
million dollars. So
$1 million check, please give us. Just like what we will talk about today. I think for sure they had $1 million box office hit.
maybe. I
Maybe
don't
not.
know. I don't know. So tonight's movie is Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, which obviously Frankenstein is a very old. You know,
Yes,
there've been I think 1932 was the first Frankenstein movie, so it's been a while, right? So we're
yes.
almost 100 years since the first one.
hmm I
But
think
this latest
Shelley.
version is from
hmm
Guillermo del Toro, who's a director who done Hellboy, and he's done
Oh, I love Hellboy.
Kronos, and he's done all kinds of good stuff.
hmm
And this is his latest thing. It's on Netflix if you want to catch it. Oscar Isaac plays Victor Frankenstein, who is Dr. Frankenstein, right?
mm
Jacob Elordi plays the creature, which everybody calls him Frankenstein, but the reality is he never has a name. He's just a creature. Christoph Waltz is in it, along with Mia Goth, Felix Kammerer, Charles Dance, David Bradley, Lars Mikkelsen, and some more people. But all those are the main people there. It's a gothic tale, obviously, of how Victor Frankenstein is totally fascinated with making, dead people come back to life. That's that picture there. You see, he's got a dead person,
hmm
and that's a Guillermo del Toro in this scene, showing him what to do. So he uses electricity on muscles to galvanization, I think is what they call it, and to trigger
Galvanization.
things and have them come back to life. So this movie's kind of interesting because it's it's told a little bit differently. So it does have a couple of loop backs, and it starts out with a ship stuck in the ice up in the Arctic.
Oh, wow.
And neither Victor Frankenstein, nor the monster is there at the beginning of the movie. And you're like, it was really puzzling when I first started watching. I'm like, well, what's this got to do with Frankenstein? It's just a boat in the ice, stuck in the ice. but but it does. So it opens up with the Dutch ship Horizont trapped in the Arctic ice, and the crew's trying to get break free, and they're all working and freezing and everything. But then they see an explosion in the distance, and that's pretty odd for up in the Arctic, right? So
hmm
they go to check it out, and they find Victor Frankenstein almost dead on the ice. And then guess
Almost
what
dead.
shows up shortly after that?
Wow.
The creature. And so the creature is trying to kill Victor Frankenstein, and or vice versa. We don't know. And so then the Danes take the good doctor, back to the ship. He's pretty well beat up at this point, right?
Mm.
So then as he gets into the captain's cabins, he starts to tell his tale of how he got there. And so then that's when we roll back and we see Victor as a young doctor trying to make his name and so forth. And he's going through the process of reanimation in front of a bunch of other doctors there in London, and they are not really having any of it. You know what I mean? So they're not real happy with him. They're like he's messing with things that he shouldn't be messing with. And we go back a little further whenever Victor was a child, and his dad, played by Charles Dance, who plays Leopold Frankenstein, was quite harsh, and so he married Victor's mother because she had some money. Her family had money. He needed to get out of debt. He married his mother, and then his mother ended up dying. And Leopold was a doctor who was of some note, and Victor was very mad at his father for not saving his mother.
Mm.
And so that's what set him on his course to want to reanimate the dead. Um, so the interesting thing is we go through, all of these steps to find out more about Victor. His father obviously gets remarried. Back then, guys could not go a day without being married, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to get remarried because he had this little boy who he didn't want to take care of. So he needed to marry somebody to take care of him. And in the meantime, he had another baby with his new wife, and Victor and his brother didn't get along too well. Uh, William Frankenstein was his name, even as children. And so Victor wanted to do, reanimate things and missed his mother and so forth. And William was just a good kid who did everything his dad wanted. And so he was, the favorite, the youngest and the favorite. Do you have brothers and sisters, Daniel?
Yes, I do have.
Are you the youngest or the oldest, or where are you at?
Second to the eldest.
Second to the oldest. So then you know how it goes. You get the younger kids,
Yes.
the younger siblings come in, they get all the attention. And what are you left? You get nothing, right? You got to go do the dishes or something. And that's what happened to Victor, right? So he wasn't the youngest anymore. And so his dad moved on with William, who was a little bit more amenable to things. So then, so we come forward back to the present for a little bit to have the monster attack the boat again and like kill a bunch of people, which was fantastic. Actiony kind of stuff, right?
Fantastic.
There's nothing better than having a monster attack these poor freezing Danish people, Dutch people, and throwing them around like rag dolls. So that was a good thing. And then they scare him off by basically shooting him several times, and then he runs off onto the ice. Actually, they tried to drown him by shooting the ice, and he fell underwater. And they thought, well, that's the end of that guy, but maybe not. Then we get
Mm-hmm.
back into Victor Frankenstein's story, and he meets a benefactor named Harlander, played by Christoph Waltz, and he is a arms dealer who has a bunch of money, and he tells Victor that, hey, I'll pay for all your experiments, and I've even got a castle that you can do
Wow.
all your experiments in.
Kiss
And
the castle.
so, yeah, and so he goes, I'll spare you can buy whatever you want to carry out your experiments. He goes, but at some point in the future, I may ask you for a favor.
Oh, wow.
And so he doesn't say what it
Spoilers.
is exactly. It's very mysterious, right? And
Okay.
so Victor, builds his machine at scale, right, to where thinks he can revive somebody. And then come to find out, Harlander is dying of syphilis, which was, I guess, kind of bad back in the day. There, no penicillin,
Mm-hmm.
and so he wants Victor to, make sure that he stays alive by by replacing his body parts and making him be the experiment. Well, that doesn't turn out too well, and Harlander dies.
Spoilers.
But yeah, spoilers. I won't tell you how he dies, but he does die, and then but he does continue on with his work, even though people are now wondering where Harlander went. Right, so now Victor is having to kind of cover up the fact that Harlander is missing, while he continues to spend his money on his project. So he cobbles together uh, a body, and he he reanimates it, right, through
Mm,
electricity, through
mhm,
lightning, just like in the old Frankenstein movies. Lightning strikes the tower and electrifies the body and brings him to life. And then the interesting thing is that he treats Frankenstein kind of like his dad treated him, which was very poorly. And he wants Frankenstein to do kind of his bidding, and he chains him down in the dungeon, and yells at him a lot and tells him, he's because all the monster will say is Victor. He doesn't say any other words. um, and then you know he treats him pretty poorly and beats him and stuff, and so the monster's not too happy about all of that business, right?
mhm.
So then the interesting thing about this movie is then it switches to the creature
Oh
and his
wow.
perspective. And so then the creature ends up meeting uh, William's fiance, Elizabeth, who visits the castle at one point, and they kind of have a rapport. And, I don't want to say he falls in love with her, but he certainly likes her. And but he does not like Victor at this point because he's kind of brutal. And uh and so, but the interesting part about the movie is then it every all the rest of those scenes at this point are from the creature's point of view. And so you see him suffer, and then eventually Victor tries to kill him because things didn't go well, and they found out that Harlander was dead, and his life is kind of falling apart at this point. And so he tries to burn down everything, but
As in
the
everything.
yeah, like setting it on fire. And
Oh
so
wow.
but the monster escapes into the countryside and finds refuge in uh some people's house, right, like in their
Mhm,
barn.
mhm.
And so he stays there. There's some other things ensue and so forth, but he stays there and he learns from the family by kind of spying on him. And then he was known as the forest fairy because he would do things in the night to help the family, like fix their roof or gather sticks or fix a fence. And he was doing things for them while he was hiding in their barn and learning how to speak.
To
And so
speak
then,
English.
yeah, speak English. Yeah, exactly. He didn't do so great at it. I mean,
Spanish.
but he did speak. And
Mm,
so then the family takes off except for the blind man who lives there, like their grandfather. I don't think that they said that he was their grandfather, but they just call him blind man. And so him and the blind man, he since the blind man can't see him
mhm.
and be horrified by his appearance because he's kind of all sliced up and looks funny, not normal. They have a rapport, and the blind man asks him to read him books, and so they have a little bit of a library there. And so for the months that the family is gone, because they go away for the winter, they left the old man there, and the blind man there. And so then he reads books to him and learns, and they have a pretty good
Rapport.
yeah, pretty good rapport situation. Oh, there you are. He's cutting a leg off there.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's pretty morbid. The scenes are pretty graphic and morbid as you're showing them there. So, but anyway, but whenever the people get home, obviously they come in, they can see, and they see Frankenstein and kind of freak out and shoot him, and he has to defend himself. and his life is just horrible again. It was nice for a while, and now it's horrible. And he says, "I'm going to kill Victor Frankenstein," and
Oh,
that's how they get all the way up into the. That's how they get
climax.
up into the Arctic because they chase each other up to the Arctic and to the boat and everything. And so yeah, it's and it's just escalating between the two of them and so forth. And eventually though, uh Frankenstein kills the monster kills Frankenstein.
Hmm.
So
Spoiler.
spoilers. But he tries Victor apologizes to the creature for his cruelty and so forth, but we've gone he still dies because he's been so beat up at this point up at the North Pole and so forth. uh it- but Victor or the creature does free the people from the ice and sends them on their way, and then he is you know destined to live out the rest of his days alone up in the ice is what it kind of goes to because he can't be killed. So that's one of the things. The movie really adheres pretty closely to the story in the book, right? So Mary
Hmm.
Shelley, when she was really young, 18 years old, wrote Frankenstein as part of a contest with her husband and some other family members and Lord Byron in over in Great Britain, and she came up with this story and wrote it down and was the winner of this little contest for their family. It ended up getting published anonymously at first. Everybody thought Lord Byron wrote it because, or that her husband wrote it because he's the one who was in the foreword of the book that, writes a little thing. So I hope you enjoy the book and whatnot. And then her name didn't get put on it for a couple of years after that. So, but it really does follow the story of the book. One big divergence from the book is the fact that Frankenstein cannot be killed. So
Cannot
people
be
shoot
killed.
him. He gets blown up. Victor Frankenstein blows him up a couple times, but he
Hmm.
heals very quickly and can never die. And then when he gets thrown into they shoot the ice and he falls into the icy water, he doesn't drown. He just has to swim around until he can
Float.
find a place to come back up. So it's all frozen. He had to bash through the ice to come back up. So it was really quite faithful, except for that. And even the creature itself is more a representation of body parts than it is a monster, right? So in
Hmm.
the old movies, he had a square head with bolts in his neck and was all green and weird looking, right? And in this movie, he looks basically like a patchwork of people. So he was put together from different parts of people, and that's what he looks like. He obviously doesn't have perfect skin because he's made of dead people, but he's not green. And his head's not square.
It's
So
blue.
yeah, well, he's kind of like chalky and different colors because he all hit like all his body parts were taken from different people. But it really, I mean, still, it goes into a lot more. Obviously, I'll give you the quick overview here tonight. It goes into a lot of things with, his fondness for Elizabeth, which is William's wife. Although the weird thing is, Victor had a fondness for Elizabeth as well, and that became a whole weird kind of side story where Victor's hitting on his brother's wife and so forth. And so it's a very involved movie. I would say there's Victor and his dad. There's Victor,
Hmm.
trying to reanimate bodies and stuff. The is extremely well made. I mean, if you know any other Guillermo del Toro movies, you'll know that they're very rich in visuals, right? So
Hmm.
his famous Pan's Labyrinth, Shape of Water, he won an Oscar for. right?
Yes.
You know, he's very very Crimson Peak. He's very prolific and visually his movies are visually stunning, and this one is no different, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I will say the pacing was very slow. It's a very slow movie. What's the running time on this? 2 hours, I think. Let me see if I can find that real quick for you.
2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours and 29 minutes. So it's a bit long. And then I would say the interesting thing to me was the guy who played the creature, the monster, was very good. Everybody was very good. I would say the two
Is
the
this
only
the guy?
yeah, that's him. He
Like,
plays the creature.
oh.
Yeah, yeah. He doesn't look
Mm-hmm.
that good in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oscar Isaac was kind of over the top. I think he did. He was a little bit played it up a little bit much, and then Mia Goth, who was Elizabeth there, just really. I mean, not. She was very blah. You know what I mean? So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she did a fine job. She was supposed to be playing kind of this really smart, you know, forward-thinking young lady, but didn't really come through too much, if you ask me. But that was my opinion.
He's
I-
Mr. Bob
yeah,
Opinion.
but Christoph Waltz, fantastic as always. The gentleman who played his brother, Felix Kammerer, did a good job. David Bradley played the blind man. He was Felch, I think was his name in Harry Potter. He was the the caretaker at Hogwarts. He did a
Mm-hmm.
great
Yes.
job. Lars Mikkelsen played Captain Anderson, the captain of the boat, and he did a very good job as well. A lot of good performances, a lot of just to watch a beautiful movie, even though it was really gross, as you've shown some of the pictures there, with the
Beautiful
bodies
movie.
splayed open and things like that. But overall, pretty good on uh, IMDb. They're giving it 7.7 out of 10. I would say
Yes.
that's pretty good. I'd say that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and let's see for the
Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes. Let me look at that. Is that what you want?
Yes,
Where's
let's
the
do.
where's that at?
I will look for it.
I don't see it
Rot-
on here. I don't see it on
no?
my screen.
Okay.
But for money wise, the cost was budget was 120 million dollars.
Wow.
Yeah, but they don't. It's not at the movies, and so it went straight to Netflix. So I guess they just paid them, so they don't have really box office returns because it's just a straight to Netflix movie. But it's at 120 million dollars. Filmed on location in Scotland. Uh, just beautiful surroundings, right? So
Mm-hmm.
uh, very very beautiful movie to look at, other than the fact that some of the things you're looking at are dead bodies splayed open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Rotten.
so what's
Yes.
Rotten
Rotten
Tomatoes say?
Tomatoes. Yes, 85%.
85%. Really?
Yes. And
I would have thought that.
popcorn meter 95. Mm.
95. Really?
95.
People like it. Well, I
Imagine.
thought it was a little bit long.
Too
They could have
long.
cut a half hour out of it. I did
Mm-hmm.
think it was quite interesting the way they portrayed the story, and they showed it from Victor's point of view and then showed it from the creature's point of view, which was
Mm-hmm.
really interesting. And the guy who played the creature did a really good job. I mean, he wasn't your typical Frankenstein, which is kind of dumb and lumbering. He was really quite. Obviously he had problems because he was made from other people's parts, and I think he did a good job of portraying that, and there was a lot of confusion in his portrayal because of the fact that he even expressed this. He felt like, I have all these memories, conflicting memories, right? And he remembers dying,
Mm-hmm.
and but multiple times, because like you saw there in the pictures, he's using a leg from one person and an arm from another person and a hand from another person. And so he really is made up of all these. pieces and parts, and they were conveying the fact that there's some memory from the person as well. So, but a very good conflicted Frankenstein. I would say the Frankenstein was the best part, which is good because it's a movie. The whole
Not a
Frankenstein
series.
story is really more about him than it is about about the doctor. But overall, I'd say it was good. You should watch it, but trust me,
Highly
it's
recommend.
gross. It's gross, and it's long, so you
People
got to be stuck in there for a while.
people love girls. Come on, Mr. Webb.
Well, maybe they do. I mean, I'm not
Uh,
always a gross. I'm not a gross. I don't go for the gross. How's
Why
that?
you don't go to the girls? Why
Yeah, I would.
not?
I try to avoid the gross a little bit, but
Hmm.
I'm a big Guillermo del Toro fan. I've seen lots of his movies, even the bad ones, and so yeah, I was like, oh, I really want to see this.
Definitely.
He's done all kinds of stuff. I'm looking back here. What was his first one here? Uh, See, he did movies in Mexico before he came up. Kronos is one of the early movies I saw for him in 1992.
Kronos. I think I love that
Yeah.
Kronos. So
And
you,
one of my favorites is Hellboy from 2004 and
oh, I
Pan's
love
Labyrinth
Hellboy.
2005. Yeah.
Hmm. So he's a
Golden
Mexican.
Army as well.
He's a Mexican.
Yeah, he's from Mexico. Yeah, from Mexico
Mm.
City, I believe. Yeah,
Awesome. Awesome.
yeah.
He's a Mexican. Mexican because people from Mexico they are always producing telenovelas which is
Right,
fast and
telenovelas.
yeah, fast and well, the idea is already let's say in one sitting you can grasp the whole
Right.
telenovela.
Yeah.
Mm,
True. Well, I would say, yeah, he's not like that. So his movies usually are fairly deep. This is again another deep emotional movie. This poor monster gets brought back to life and is treated so poorly by everybody because he's so different. And so it's really an allegory to how society treats different people. So it's interesting, very interesting, very good. I would say if I were our popcorn bucket rating, I think I'd give it 4
yes,
buckets, not 5, only because it's too long.
it's too long. It's supposed to be what?
Too
How many hours?
long. Yeah, it's 2:29, 2 hours 29
29.
minutes.
Mm,
They could have cut 29 minutes out of there and just made it 2 hours.
2 hours. Yes.
Yeah.
So do
You can
you
close your
think?
eyes for 29 minutes if you want, but
Don't watch the credits, okay?
yeah, don't. Well, they're not
leave
29 minutes.
leave to them. So highly recommend that, Mr. Bob.
I'd say yeah, I recommend it. Yeah, but with caveat that it's long and
Mm,
it's very much more European sensibility.
mm-mm.
So it's not super fast in pace all the time. So
So if
beware.
beware. So Mr. Bob, if Netflix releasing a film, the film is not going through the theater, right? Only on
I don't think this was
Netflix.
going to the theater. I think they bought it outright so it would be on their
Netflix.
service. Yeah.
Mm, it's
Only place you can see it is Netflix.
only on Netflix. Please sponsor us, Netflix, please. Yeah. Why not?
Why not? Yeah, why not?
Why not? Come on, sponsor us. I think Apple is sponsoring us. Thank you, Apple. Apple Watch.
There you go. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. So, Mr. Bob, to wrap up our discussion for today, or the movie night of Movie 101 review, please do recap and recommend the movie itself.
So
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein, yeah. Go
Mm,
uh, scoot on over to Netflix and you can watch it, and especially if you enjoy the gross stuff, and but you're going to be
mm,
there for 2.5 hours.
yes, yes. Is it only on Netflix, people? Okay. How about
I
Prime?
think it's
No.
only on Netflix. Yeah, you might be able to rent it. I'm not sure. I didn't see, but Sometimes they
Yes.
do Netflix and then you can rent it, but I think
Yes.
it says it's in
On
theaters
Prime.
as well, but it's on Netflix already. So I don't know.
Oh, so
Maybe in
Netflix is
theaters
also.
overseas or something. Maybe in Canada it's
Mm-hmm.
in theaters, but it's not in theaters here in the U.S.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I will search for that if it's
Yeah.
available on any theater here.
Oh, it's at the Alamo Draft House here in St. Louis. So I guess I could go to the movies, but I don't have to because it's
You already
on
watch it.
Netflix.
Oh
Yeah.
yes. Okay, Netflix one. So, Mr. Bob, would you like to plug in your static radio,
I'll
please?
plug in something. No, I'm just
Yeah.
joking. Uh,
Plug in
you can
something.
listen to me tell funny stories every week at staticradio.com, at Static Radio on the socials. And then I swing by here and talk to Daniel about movies and stuff.
Yes, and being a comedian too. Mr. Bob
Oh, yeah,
is
I'm being a comedian.
yes. Mr. Bob is teaching me how to be a comedian. And today or tonight, let's see what we gonna happen. What something that I can offer to be a comedian? Ah, okay. More to come, people. See you soon. So Frankenstein, highly recommended by Mr. Bob.